Are we locked in, XRP family? Hey, it's February 20th, 2025, and we have a big update coming at you here tonight. A couple things that I want to announce. We are doing the Australia free shipping giveaway, and we had a few more orders come in today, so we're looking at 15 more orders right now eligible for free shipping to Australia. Take advantage of that while that deal lasts. And then we have gone live with the shipping of the XRP family merch worldwide. So if you are joining us out there outside of the homeland here in the US, we'd love to have you representing the XRP family, and we really do appreciate your support. All of my community resources are available at zachrector.com, and in tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about the XRP switches being flipped. I know that this is a big meme in the XRP community. We look at riddles, we do conspiracies, we're a little bit crazy. I get that. And we talk about this flip of the switch moment, and it's actually a triggering, it really is a triggering, saying used in the XRP family. But I just want to remind everybody that there are switches being flipped. And I've talked about this in the past. You got this rocket ship that we're on with Brad Garlinghouse, David Schwartz, other leaders within the XRP community. And those could even be people outside of Ripple that are helping to guide the ship. But really, I think that Brad is in the cockpit there with David Schwartz guiding this rocket ship, and they got the dashboard here, and we're talking about switches being flipped just in Ripple's business, but also enabling the entire XRP Ledger ecosystem. Very important, this DeFi explosion that's taking place on the back of regulations being passed, and I'm going to run you down all of the switches that are being flipped here across the board, and this is why XRP is picking up speed per se, and this relates to the XRP price chart going up. And we're going to talk about later in this episode where I think XRP is going. We really are honing in on our time frame and the level that it looks like XRP is going to go to. I was looking at my chart here today doing my doofus moron TA. You guys know my doofus moron TA. I don't pretend to play around as a TA guru, but I was playing around and I just look for simple patterns. That's all I do. And then I mostly focus on market sentiment and psychology. And so we have 27 days that we've ran here now, and we've done this twice. We did it while we consolidated between $2 and $3 the first time, and then we've now done it while we've consolidated between, after we went up to 340, and then we came back down here to $1.70. So we've done this twice, about a 27-day time frame before we blasted off once again. So it's like nearly a month. Basically, consolidate for a month and then blast off. A lot of folks getting impatient, but there's no reason for that. In fact, you need to strap in and get excited here because this thing's about to move. And if we follow the fractal that we did last month, we're talking about days away from moving back up. And this is a market that's already bottomed out in my opinion. And so I started to buy some more assets this week. People think I'm crazy because I bought some XRP meme coins. It's funny because the meme coins that I bought, they actually went up in price. XRP went down, and so right away they kind of placed as a hedge against XRP. XRP went down, but they held relative to XRP, not the US dollar. And then now XRP's gone back up, and the meme coins have held the positions that I got there. And so now I this is how I've continued to accumulate some XRP, and I got really lucky at the casino. That's just what it is. It's just very, and that's all it is a casino. And I got lucky. And so now, thank God, I don't even have to touch my long-term bags of XRP when I look to take a little bit of profit here as we approach the $8 to $10 region for XRP in the next 60 days. And I'm going to hone in on the time frame for you guys as well, too. We're locked in right now on this timeline, the price. Of course, we could be wrong. We've been right. We've been wrong. The game that I'm in is making a bet. Yeah, not just talking about it, but actually putting skin in the game and a considerable amount. I mean, we went all in XRP, relatively speaking, to the rest of our portfolios. A lot of us guilty of over-investing in XRP. It's playing out really nice. The run up here in the next 60 days is going to be life-changing. For some folks that have big bags, it's going to be generational wealth type of move, just going up to $8 to $10. Now, what gets exciting is we stretch this out and we look where XRP goes up to next. When we break out of this range, we're talking about well into the double digits. And that's later this year into next year after we enter an institutional era of liquidity and utility. we're not talking about single digit XRP anymore at that point. And that's coming too. So I'm equally excited about this opportunity just up to $8 to $10 because it's so life-changing for so many in our community. And if we play our cards right, just that move alone can get us out of debt, can really just, like I said, it can be life-changing for a lot of people. But then the generational wealth move to well into the double digits, and we're going to talk about this because we're seeing gold is at all-time highs right now. How high is gold going to go before the currency resets? How high is XRP going to go before the currency resets? That's what is so fun about this bet, the asymmetrical bet that we've made here. We don't have much downside risk, but the upside potential here, I mean, gold is outperforming the stock market for crying out loud. And then obviously our crypto gains are just ripping by, and it's not even a comparison to the traditional stock market. So I got a lot to cover. I want to get right on into this update, but we're locked in right now. I want to make sure that everybody in our community is tapped in on kind of what we're expecting for the next 60 days and the outlook over the next year. There's a lot of switches that are about to be flipped. XRP is going to move up in price, and we're talking about, testing $10. And then later on this year into next year, we're talking about some really fun stuff. And there's scenarios that could play out, by the way, that just take it stupid. I don't really spend too much time talking about that, but that is a potential. And I'm talking about triple digits and beyond, and just stupidity. And it's not even stupidity, really. It's just, relatively speaking, the time frame just collapses because everything implodes so quickly, and XRP is the chosen solution. It is the chosen one. And it looks like that's the case. It's just, I think that there's a shakeout here as XRP runs up to $10. And this first wave will shake out a lot of people. Obviously, I'm still going to hold a lot of my XRP. Most of my long-term holdings aren't going to be touched at this point, thank God. And this is why I've been harping on just hustling. We got to stay liquid. We got to stack as much of the suppressed assets as possible. And that's been my focus for the last 4 years that I've been making content. We got massive super chats already raining in, a lot of support here in the community. You guys have been incredible. We blew right through 100,000 subscribers, and the momentum behind this community is incredible. And this journey together, me and you, does not stop at XRP Pump. This goes a lot further, and this is why I've actually been talking about other assets. And I had a great conversation with Andy Schectman this morning. That's how I started my morning, first thing, interviewing Andy Schectman, 35 years in the precious metals business, the best in the game. One of the best. I mean, as far as service to the clientele, one of the best. And that's why we're working with Andy. And his insight's incredible. And what's beautiful to see is that he's somebody from the precious metals old world who gets how this is rolling over to DLT technology, and the new financial system is going to run on the DLT rails. But we tokenize all the commodities, some of the commodities that he sells, as a matter of fact. Had a great conversation with Andy. That interview is going to drop tomorrow morning, first thing. So be ready for that. If you guys haven't already, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell. And without further ado, I got to get into this update after I check these super chats real quick. So I appreciate you guys for stopping by. We got one from KG. Zach, when are you coming on GMC? Good morning, crypto. Yeah, huge 20 spot to start off the episode there, KG. Waiting for Abs or Johnny, anyone from the gang, whenever they're ready. My schedule is relatively pretty open. We're in this every single day. I did a 2-hour TikTok live show this morning. I did the interview with Andy recorded, and then I dropped another update. So we're in here every day. So whenever they're ready to have me back, it's always a pleasure. Abs, Johnny, and the whole entire gang over there. Good morning, crypto. And a huge shout out to Coach JV, by the way, too. By the way, XRP family is going to take over Vegas. I hope you guys are ready for that one. Crypto Clay, massive 50 spot. Love you, Zach. Shout out from the Mickle Mafia. That's what it's all about. Crypto Clay, that's a big one. And a big shout out to Mickle. I like Mickle a lot. This is what the XRP family is about. And this is, we are on the front lines here, and we're spread out. So you got Mickle doing work, obviously YouTube, but also in the Twitter spaces too. He's been getting in there in the trenches with the Bitcoin maxis, beating them up a little bit with some facts. And this is what we do as a team, right? I talk with Mickle, I talk with others, and we all have different roles within this community. We all bring something different. Everybody's got a different flavor of delivery. And, that's what's beautiful about how far we are, how much land we have conquered. In fact, you're seeing with all these polls that the Bitcoin maxis and others are doing, even non-biased crypto guys like Patrick Bet David, just trying to have a legitimate poll, and XRP sweeps the floor, and then he's got all these Bitcoin guys attacking him. Oh, you phrased the question the wrong way. Absolute full meltdown. And the XRP family's not done winning, by the way. We're going to talk more about that later. Huge shout. Thank you, Crypto Clay. Thank you. That's a big one. Big B, thank you for the 5 spot. Zach, you rock, brother. You have helped me on DC, more on XRP. Is that dollar cost average, more on XRP? Is XDC a great buy still? That's the thing with XDC is I see it run into about 50 to 60 cents. So you still have room to run on that one. What is XDC at right now? I forget. You guys can let me know in the chat. But XDC 50 to 60 cents is my target for this bull run. We already have a few thousand people with us live here tonight, but I think we can run it up even further. Can you guys do me a big favor? Can we tap the screen, share the stream, TikTok, YouTube, X? If you guys could like the video and share it out far and wide, I'd greatly appreciate that. And you guys can drop comments, questions down below. We're going to go into Q&A after I go through this update. Legacy, I see you drop something here. I'll check that, and then we'll get into the news. If you are homeless politically, Mega doesn't want you. Legacy Rideshare, that's a big 20 spot, and I appreciate you. And I tell you what, to me, this is about America first. This isn't about left, right, up, down. This is about how's the program working out. And let me tell you, the hunters are going to become the hunted. Kash Patel has been confirmed as FBI director by the U.S. Senate. The deep state is cooked. Let all truth be revealed has been my motto, and we're going to continue to hit it. Speaking of all truth being revealed, are you ready? Are you ready? Most aren't. Most aren't ready for where this goes. Pam Bondi, Attorney General Pam Bondi, has announced the imminent release of the lists. The E and the D, I'm not going to say their names. You already know. We're getting the list. It's all dropping. She revealed that she was briefed on it just yesterday and confirmed that a massive trove of documents is set to be made public. Bondi stated that President Trump has issued a strong and specific directive, and it will be followed. The FBI has every single piece of surveillance footage involving these two. Crimes against humanity. Most folks aren't ready. This is where this goes. You thought that a little bit of fraud from Doge was it? Lock in. Rand Paul just unveiled on the Senate floor that U.S. taxpayers spent $4.8 million in Ukraine for social media influencers. That's right, folks. And we spent several $100,000 more to send Ukrainians designers to a fashion show in Paris. This is where your hard-earned tax dollars are going. This is why we're struggling to put food on the table, why we're struggling to become first-time home buyers, why we're struggling, why maybe we don't even have a job. I mean, this economy is as weak as it's been in most recent years. The job numbers were fake. We're already in a jobs recession. The only reason why our GDP is still positive because of government hiring and government spending. And we're producing the same amount of goods and services, but we can just charge more. Blinded by fake economic data, many people thought that the economy was doing fine, and they're starting to find out that no, the economy wasn't strong. And now that President Trump and this administration and real patriots like Rand Paul, taking after his father, Ron Paul, and calling this out, this is what's being exposed, and it goes much, much deeper. Like the misuse, the misappropriation, all of that is just the tip of the iceberg. But we're about to expose it all. Now, I'm going to play this. This is Elon Musk and Malay, and he is being delivered the chainsaw to go after the bureaucracy beast. There you have it right there. I have no idea. Elon has been fully activated. I've been talking about this for the past year. Call him crazy. Say whatever you want. He's a bad guy. Billionaire, doesn't have my interest. Whatever you want. Why is he wearing a gold chain? Why has he got the chainsaw? Don't let it distract from why we have misappropriated trillions of dollars in this country. Don't let it distract us from why the standard of living has been depressed for the better part of over a decade. We never really did recover from the great financial crisis other than in nominal terms, with asset prices being inflated, standard of living not keeping up. And once again, what is a fair tax, right? We have gone so far, and what that's allowed to fund is the biggest bureaucracy beast in the history of mankind. And now we're starting to figure out where it went. And you have to let all truth be revealed. That's my position. Now, some argue for certain programs, some argue for certain wars. If the check won't cash, it doesn't matter what you want to do. And that's the point that I've been trying to bring home as well. And that's the point that I see Elon and what he's doing bring forward. Now, is he trolling right now? Absolutely. Absolutely. Elon Musk is trolling the left on stage here at CPAC. And he's, this is in response to them saying that he's going to steal some money, as if this billionaire needs to steal money from the Treasury.
Saying right now that the reason that you want to get into Social Security, that you want to get into all of these into Treasury and things like that, is that you're looking for personal information and you're trying to make more money.
Yeah.
I've never met anybody as rich as you that cared less about money in my life. Every time I hear a story about you, you're sleeping on a couch of some other guy in a city that you could buy the entire thing.
Yeah,
I don't think you care about money, do you?
No, actually, I mean, listen, like if I steal some Social Security, I can finally buy nice things.
Yeah. And saying right now that the reason.
Now, do I completely trust Elon? Do I completely trust Trump? No, and that's not the point. The point is the direction, the program. How's it been working out? It hasn't been working out. And we can't cash the checks that we're writing other than by continuing to devalue the dollar, debase the dollar, and destroy our standard of living. And that's the point that I'm trying to drive home. Now, I'm going to show you guys a clip here from Health Ranger Mike. And a huge shout out to Mike. I like his work. Listened to him for well over a decade now. But he makes some comments here. And I'm not saying that, this is actually the case or how it's going to be. But I'm kind of leaning to this camp that all this talk of repaying back the debt, I don't think that we're going to be repaying back all the debt. I think that we will be defaulting. I think that it will be a strategic default, just like a strategic bankruptcy, just like the strategic bankruptcies that Donald Trump has done many times in his life. That's what's going to happen. And Elon is going to cut and slash with the chainsaw, metaphorically speaking, through the bureaucracy beast. It's going to happen. And so no matter how we feel about it, we have to make adjustments. And I'm kind of in this camp too. I'm interested to hear what you guys say. So after I read off this, I want to hear from you guys in the comments. I'm going to check you guys what you think about this idea from Health Ranger Mike. For those saying that Doge savings money should be used to pay down the U.S. debt, you are suckers. The debt will never be repaid. The U.S. government is going to default on its debt. All the people with money and power are already well into the financial lifeboats. Gold. They know the Titanic is sinking. It's already taken on too much water, debt, to save. The very idea that you could pay off $36 trillion is insane. And remind you, that is just the federal debt. That is not the unfunded liabilities, Social Security and Medicare, which goes in well over 100 trillion, 150 trillion. Some estimates actually pushing it up towards 200 trillion now of unfunded liabilities as Medicare, Social Security, etc. And we've already found out that 2.7 trillion went to basically 2.7 trillion in wrong payments has been made from Social Security since 2003. So how much of the 100 trillion, 150 trillion do we actually owe? We got to figure this out. But that is the liability as it stands right now. And these are promises that have been made to the American people. And the point that I keep on hearing from, Elon and Trump is that none of the benefits are going to be cut. But they would be cut. They wouldn't be there. We would be going into austerity. We wouldn't have Social Security and Medicare if we don't address the deficit and if we don't address the debt in some form or fashion. Now, does that mean paying it back? I don't think so. Not all of it. How much of it is real? Who brought on this debt? Which corporation owns this debt or is liable to pay back this debt? See, when we really get into this, it gets very interesting. The only ethical thing to do is give the taxpayers their money back as much as possible before the Titanic goes completely underwater. There is no paying off the national debt. It's done. And I've been saying this in regards to the conversations around the strategic Bitcoin reserve. Should we sell off gold to buy Bitcoin to pay back the debt? Should we sell off gold to pay back the debt? Should we buy more Bitcoin so that we can sell it later to pay off the debt? Are we even going to pay off the debt is the question that I've been asking. What do you guys think in the comments? Let me check you guys real quick. Yeah. Exactly. I think I see some of your guys' comments and you guys get it. It's breaking right now, though, and that's what I'm worried about as far as, the back end of the financial system, the liquidity crisis, the global margin call. Yes, the Japan carry trade is going to be one of the sparks, but this is a global margin call that's going to be taking place that can't be fixed overnight. No matter whether you like Trump or don't like Trump or like Elon or don't like Elon or Doge or whatever you think, right? This is something that has to be addressed. The national debt and then the household debt too, also at record levels for every single metric and data point as well. Japan's inflation rate rises to 4%, its highest since January of 2023. And Michael Gayed, a guest that we've had on the show, who's been covering the Japan carry trade for a while now, said could be set up for reverse carry trade 2.0 literally next week. And what happened here is the 10-year Japanese bond has gone up by about 500% from negative rates to now just shy of 1.5%. It's like 1.4 something right now is the Japan 10-year bond. So the 4% inflation doesn't sound like that much, right? You're just saying, oh, another 4%, that's, only 1% higher than our, CPI lie here in the United States of America, right? And how much is Japan lying about their CPI or their inflation gauge? I don't have time to decode their data too. It's enough work to just decode the economic data that we get here in the US. But you see that problem right there is that inflation rates at 4%, government reported, it's probably double and maybe worse. And that 10-year bond's only paying you 1.4, 1.5% now. But relative to what was taking place in Japan, it's 500% higher than it was just 4 years ago. The 10-year bond has traded like a cryptocurrency over there in Japan, up 500%. Negative yield to 1.5%. It's crazy. And so the Japan carry trade unwind is happening now. Is it going to break next week? I don't think so. I think that it's going to be, we're going to see another 30 to 60 days of really running up. And it's going to be a run up, a Trump 2.0 pump. Trump pump 2.0, another euphoric moment. And this is all being fueled by, the good positive expectations that we're going to be cutting debt. We're going to be, basically bringing back production and investment capital back into the United States of America. The outlook is positive, right? That's why the markets are rallying right now. This is a Trump rally 2.0. Now, I want to get into cryptocurrency. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And I wanted to remind everybody, we're going to play a little oldie here. Oldie but a goodie here from Rosie Rios. The train has left the station to get our crypto segment started here. Take a listen real quick.
What do you think about cryptocurrency as a form of currency?
Well, I think the train's already left the station in terms of cryptocurrency.
And so Rosie Rios told us this a few years ago. Folks thought it was a joke. Folks thought that Ripple working with our government was a joke, right? That this, SEC lawsuit, Ripple's never going to get out of it. XRP's never going to go. It's a dino coin. It's a boomer coin. I've heard all of it, right? And it was suppressed. It finally has broken free. And now it's already pumped 588% since the Trump pump began. And I easily see that it could do another, 200-300% with ease, if not more, in the next 30 to 60 days. But that move towards the end of the year into next year, I think, is even more spectacular. But what's so interesting to see is the resistance that XRP is still getting in the year 2025, when we should all be coming together. And this is what we're trying to do. The XRP army, at least I'm speaking for myself and some others too, we've put down the shields. We put down the swords. I put down the red folder, even though I had to add to the damages after the SEC filed the appeal. We lost 15 billion in market cap like that after the SEC filed the appeal. So I did have to add to the red folder as late as just last month. But for the most part, we're trying to not be the army. We want to be the family. We want to hang out. We want to have a good time. We're going to go run it up in XRP Las Vegas, and it's going to be an absolute celebration. But despite that, we cannot get the Bitcoin maxis to stop attacking us. We cannot get other communities and other crypto projects to keep on attacking us. And what's so sad to see here for Bitcoin is I think that Bitcoin could have had a much better future here if they would have just leaned into the XRP ledger. And the other thing too, I think that they made a mistake by trying to shun the gold community. Really, obviously they ran with the marketing pitch that it was digital gold, but they kept on saying, that we're going to become bigger than gold. And although they very well could, I feel like it's been disrespect to the gold community. It's been disrespect to the XRP community. We've seen a lot of that, and they should have just leaned in. It's like the developers that we're now seeing come to the XRP ledger that are rolling out the EVM sidechain. It's like, why can't we have interoperability? Let's take what was good on Ethereum, which was the EVM smart contracts, the Ethereum virtual machine, the smart contract platform. Let's take that, build out a sidechain where XRP is the gas token. Right? This is the collaboration and integration that we should be seeing with Bitcoin too. Bitcoin should be getting issued on the XRP ledger, and it doesn't have to be just one issuer. It could be multiple issuers. And I know that some people have, but you need legitimate issuers that are trusted. That's the difference. We trust Ripple. That's why Ripple's stablecoin is going to become the biggest stablecoin in the world, a US dollar stablecoin in the world, in my opinion. So, that's what we've been trying to do, but yet they just keep on coming. And so we saw Gary Cardone, and I really respected Gary. I was in his space last year, and I enjoyed listening to his spaces. I thought it was good. I mean, he obviously had a strong bias towards Bitcoin, but you could tell that the guy was just learning about crypto, and we've all been there. So I have sympathy for that, right? I'm like, I was all in Bitcoin in 2018 too. And now it didn't take me long to go all in on XRP. And now we see Gary comes out today after he basically deleted his poll. He was one of these guys that ran another poll, and the XRP family was sweeping it, so he canceled it. He deleted it. And now he dumps his entire position. Now, normally I wouldn't showcase what somebody else is doing. It doesn't matter. But it really goes in. I just wanted to highlight here how some of these guys think about this investment, and I wanted to break down his rules on why he's dumping XRP and just how ridiculous this is. Dump my XRP position today at $2.71. I genuinely hope the XRP army gets stupid rich. I don't think you will, but my best hopium is out to each of you. Well, that's the thing, is that there's actually already a lot of people that got rich just off the move that was made. That's what's crazy, is the move to $3 already took some people from a net worth of 6 digits to 7 digits, a net worth of 7 digits to 8 digits. I mean, the move already has been spectacular. For anyone wanting to understand my decision, it's very simply, my 40 years of experience has taught me certain lessons that I don't violate. Rule 1, if I cannot understand the supply-demand dynamics unless I have a serious edge, I do not get involved. The supply-demand dynamics of XRP are some of the most simple because you can actually see what Ripple's doing. With 99% of crypto, they don't have an escrow, they don't have a timeline, and it's not locked away with time lock releases like it is with Ripple. And they're not as consistent like they are with Ripple. So the treasury management from Ripple has been the most consistent and transparent in the cryptocurrency space. Not understanding what's happening with the escrow and the flow of XRP supply is just choosing not to do the research that would take you 5 minutes. And of course, understanding it a little bit deeper takes some more time, but this is a rather simple thing to understand. It's just lazy. Rule 2, if others cannot explain it in a very understandable way and or cannot draw it on a whiteboard, don't do it. Well, Gary, you obviously haven't watched my content. This is what we do every single day. We simplify this and dumb it down. So just because, you talk to some XRP guys that maybe couldn't explain it, I don't know who we talked to. I know that when I was in Gary's space, we had some good conversations. I just explained my thoughts on, why I thought that XRP was well positioned. And hindsight, looking back here now, I mean, that was obviously a true statement, as XRP price has performed so well and the fundamental developments that are still taking place. Rule 3, avoid people who know the price of everything but the value of nothing. This is where the arrogance and the ego starts to come out a little bit. We knew that XRP was 20 cents. Now it's $2. That's 1,000% pump. So I know what the price of XRP is, and that's the point. And I knew where the price of XRP was going to go, and that's the point. So, I mean, we can throw these types of statements around all day, the P&L speaks for itself. For folks that were a little bit later, it's still 2, 3x. For a lot of us, it's 5x. For some people, it's 10x. We acquired bags at less than 25 cents. Or at least we were dollar cost averaging at those levels. So avoid people who know the price of everything but the value of nothing. No, it wasn't about knowing. I don't study stocks heavily. I don't study a lot of things. I focus on what I know and I drill down. And we went all in. And that's why it's already life-changing gains for so many people just going to $3. Rule 4, never confuse short-term noise with the long-term investment plan goal. This is 10 years of existence, the first DEX. You're just late to the party. This is not short-term noise. We've been here, and we've been growing, and we're not going away. And the President of the United States is bull-posting XRP. Never confuse short-term noise with long-term investment plan goal. We aren't. The hype is exciting, but a lot of us, and the reason why XRP is going to go so high is so many people in our community are holding their whole bag. They're never selling. Not one XRP. Or maybe 10% or 20%. Like myself, I'm going to trade, with 40, 50% of my bag if XRP does go up to some of these levels. But for most of us, we're holding 50% or more of our bag forever. That's why XRP is going to go up so high, is people are treating it like a reserve currency. This is all long-term thinking. This is not short-term noise. This is not short-term thinking. It was all long-term. How do you keep on buying an asset after it's been suppressed for 7 years? After it's been sued by the SEC? That's long-term thinking. That's not short-term noise. Rule 5. Great wealth is made by highly consolidated bets and investments that are made over long periods of time. That's exactly what we just did with XRP. Rule 6. Never follow the crowd. Never. Should be rule number 1. What's the loudest crowd in the room? Is the anti-XRP crowd. The mass, mainstream movement in crypto has been to bash XRP. And you had to ignore XRP, or you got to ignore XRP because price hadn't moved. Well, now we pump 500% and you wake up and you get slapped in the face with a chart that just went stupid, parabolic, in 2 months' time, with the fundamental developments in DeFi explosion to take it up 10 times higher in the next 12 months. Gary should have locked in. Gary should have got better resources for XRP, and it wouldn't have taken long. I'm not the only guy putting out XRP content. So just because you see a couple crazies XRP, you see some crazy tweets, usually it's guys that are making the most amount of noise, talking about crazy stuff, pulling it out of their you-know-what, that get seen. That's just kind of the nature of crypto and content. The most ridiculous gets viral. But if you just take a little bit of time, this is just pure laziness, too much ego. He's been proven wrong. And instead of just holding, and he didn't have to criticize XRP. We didn't have to do this. And now he's going to miss out on at least 10x upside probably in the next 12 months. As XRP goes to 20 to $30. That's another 10x that he's going to miss out on in the next 12 months. Big mistake, but we can't stop these guys, and that's okay. That's the game. And that's why a huge shout out and testament to our community. Because these are guys that have bigger bags than some of us. These are guys that have 40 years, what did he say? 40 years experience. 40 years of experience. Decades more experience than guys like myself. The bet was so simple. All you had to do was take a little time, and that's okay. Not everybody's going to make it to the dance. Not everybody's going to make it. And this is a prime example. Somebody offloading a bag here, and it looks like he cashed out 80K. 81,000. If I'm not mistaken, he had said something that he had, invested, I thought it was like 20, 30,000 bucks or so. It's just another one of these guys though. But how fatal of a mistake this will end up being when we look back on this one and many of the others. We're going to look back on this era and just think, why did the Bitcoin community not lean in and want to collaborate with us? We're literally extending out the olive branch. We're saying, come on board the XRP ledger. Come on in. Max Payne is retail getting utterly wiped out on meme coin scams right before boomer alts full send. Now Max Payne is retail getting utterly wiped out on meme coin scams right before boomer alts full send, and it's also the outperformance versus Bitcoin versus Ethereum and other alts that had a story, maybe had a pump, but the run that we're about to see on utilities is going to be spectacular. And these are the boomer alts. I like how Sistine Research calls them the boomer alts. I'm bullish on boomers. I'm very bullish on boomers who take the time. And I got boomers that follow me on TikTok, on every single platform, YouTube, X, everywhere. People in our Discord community that are 70 years old. I'm bullish on boomers. Because why? Boomers got wealth. If you haven't seen the stat, it's trillions of dollars, tens of trillions of dollars that the boomers get to pass down. We need to be friendly to our boomer friends and, guide them along here and help them out in the crypto space. And so Max Payne is going to be watching the meme coin degens getting wiped out. The Bitcoin maxis still performing. They still get a little bit of a run, but nowhere near what we're about to do in the utility assets that I think you got 5, 10, 20x runs coming. And it's all going to be backed up here by the inflows that we're going to see here institutional over the next 12 to 24 months is just going to be spectacular, like we've never seen before. Whole new reality. JP Morgan warns of a potential crypto market correction due to declining Bitcoin and Ethereum demand on CME futures, institutional profit taking, and key U.S. crypto initiatives delayed until the second half of 2025. And I retweeted this and I said, what some call a correction, is a correction. I would also call it a rotation. It's a rotation out of Bitcoin and Ethereum into XRP and other utility plays that have real adoption and are going to actually meet the standards, meet the compliance, and meet the demand from the institutions. That's the rotation that's going to be happening. That's already started. And we're already seeing it on the inflows. We're already seeing it from investment manager, chief investment officer at Bitwise, Matt Hoogan. And Bitwise is one of 5 spot ETFs that have all now been acknowledged. Listen in on this clip where he speaks on the substantial demand for an XRP ETF.
Okay, one more thing before we go. We saw earlier this week that the SEC formally acknowledged Bitwise's application for a spot XRP ETF. Now, I know you can't talk about the specific application, but I'm wondering if you can talk about what you've heard in terms of demand for an XRP ETF in particular. Obviously, there was less demand for an ETH ETF than a Bitcoin one, but there is increasing adoption. So what's the scope look like for an XRP fund?
Yeah, I would say 2 things on that front, without talking about the Bitwise filing specifically, as you mentioned. One, I think there's substantial demand for an XRP ETF. XRP has had a sustained community for an extremely long period of time. It's an asset that trades significantly on centralized exchanges. I think people would love to find a way to hold it in a simple, low cost, easy to use ETP structure. And I will say the second piece is the SEC is much more receptive to discussions under the new administration than they were in the past. In the previous administration, the door would simply be shut. There was no way to discuss things like staking or in-kind or maybe new assets. I think, and I can tell you that has completely changed. They're much more open to dialogue. So I'm optimistic we're going to see, XRP ETFs, Solana ETFs. I think the killer app in this space will actually be an index-based ETF. I think a lot of people want to just make a generalized bet on crypto, and I'm hopeful we get that at the end of this year as well. So count me as optimistic.
Yeah, and what we've seen, look at the, Van Eck subsidiary that launched the Mega 10 crypto index, and almost 50% of that index fund was made up by XRP. So what we're seeing right now, substantial demand being noted here by Bitwise, chief investment officer. We're seeing JP Morgan actually predict, 4 to 8 billion of inflows into XRP in the first year. So this is being tracked right now in the ETPs that are already live. Yesterday, it was announced that Brazil is going to be going live with the first spot ETF in the world, but we already have ETPs. And the inflows that we're tracking into those ETPs right now is already substantial. Now, I got a few more points here, and then we're going to get it going. But this is the institutions showcasing the XRP is printing the most amount of returns. So they post this right here today. Grayscale Crypto Snapshot Assets, our weekly snapshot of the top 10 crypto assets by 1 week returns. And here's the setup here, and they show you the returns in the last week, 6.4% for XRP, right? Down 9.9% for Solana in the worst case scenario, right? Return year to date, 30% for XRP, and some negatives there for Ethereum, for Cardano, Chainlink, Binance Coin, Dogecoin. And so they're literally showcasing XRP as being the lead performer. Now, when Grayscale, you got to consider, these are the suits that have plenty of brokers to sell these investment products. And they're going to be showcasing charts like this. They're going to be showcasing slideshow presentations, speaking about XRP. And XRP, I think, is going to see significant inflows into these ETFs. And the ETFs are going to probably be going live in the next few months. Now, Eleanor Terrett here noting that Grayscale today, the ETF filing, the 19B4 filing, has officially been posted to the Federal Register. All this means is that the clock starts now for the SEC to engage and either approve or deny it on or before October 18th. So they already acknowledged it, but we have to wait for it to officially go into the register, and then a 240-day countdown begins where the SEC has to respond yes or no. Now, just like the CIO of Bitwise, Matt Hoogan, just said, this SEC is not the Biden, Gary Gensler SEC, the war on crypto SEC. This is the SEC that wants to open up capital markets, and we want to now become the leaders in the digital asset space worldwide. These ETFs are going to be approved, I think, in the next few months. And this acknowledgement right here that it's already in the register means that it's ready to go at any point right now. Okay. Now, a couple more points here. These are some of the switches that we're talking about. Okay. The reason why I titled this episode here tonight, XRP switches being flipped, is just to remind everybody where we're at, the switches that have been flipped so far, and how many more we still got coming down. Ashley Prosper giving us the summary. It's getting interesting for sure. SEC case finalized. Okay. My prediction is that the case will be done by April 16th. That's the final date that I have. That's the final date that I'm going to predict for the SEC case conclusion, is that it will be done by April 16th, which is the day that Ripple wanted to request to, file their appeal response. So the SEC filed an appeal. They filed their brief. Ripple has time to respond. They requested April 16th. I think that they did so that they could negotiate with Paul Atkins and the current SEC, which we just saw yesterday. They voluntarily dismissed the case against that blockchain association and that group out of Texas that was over the broker-dealer rule. So they've already began to voluntarily dismiss lawsuits. They just did it yesterday. And they've put pauses in place on the lawsuit with Binance and others. Now, interesting, they have not paused the case against Consensus. So the case against Consensus is still rolling on. There's no pause there. And in fact, today, the SEC announced that they were going to be, renaming their cyber unit, their crypto unit, basically. And they're going to be focusing on fraud, as they're supposed to be, right? Fraud and violating the securities laws that are on the books and the precedents that we have. Not trying to expand your jurisdiction and say that every digital asset is a crypto asset security, a term that you completely made up. In my opinion, the case is done by April 16th. That's my final and last prediction about case conclusion. That's it. It's done. It's over. And it's going to be voluntarily dismissed, and Ripple won't pay that fine. They're not going to pay it because they won't have to pay it because it's going to be voluntarily dismissed by this SEC. IPO launch. That might not happen till, even next year. We might not even see it this year, right? I think that the IPO now is on track for late this year or most likely next year. UK FCA license acquired, completion, and that's coming. In fact, they might have already got that. Completion of US money transmitter licenses. Yeah, they already have, I think, 50 states. XRP ETFs from BlackRock and Vanguard. We don't have BlackRock and Vanguard yet, but they're on the way. Absolutely on the way. And I think that BlackRock and Vanguard, they'll have some of the biggest index funds that will include XRP. Even if BlackRock and Vanguard don't do spot XRP ETFs, they're going to include it in a basket index style. That's my prediction there. XRP usage by every bank in Japan. Most banks in Japan are tapped in. There's 200 banks in Japan is the number that I looked up before I did this live here tonight. There's about 200 banks in Japan is what's being reported. And many of them already are getting tapped in with Ripple and XRP. And that process is underway. Links to Fed messaging, and that's happening. ISO 222 rollout, the final day, has been pushed back from March till July. To me, that lines up with a little bit of a rally taking place here, a little bit of a spring rally before we get hit by the next black swan, before we get hit by something. And that, extending out the ISO compliance until July buys them some time to let that old system collapse and maybe something, break before we roll over into ISO. But the ISO opt-in has already began in 2022 with Swift, and many other institutions and organizations are already rolling with ISO 222 messaging. So that process has already started as well too. That switch has been flipped. It's just not every organization has completely flipped that switch yet. Links to automated clearinghouse, that's coming. Tokenization of precious metals, oil, gas, etc., that's already started and will only accelerate. Now that regulations are being put into place, you're going to see some big legitimate businesses, corporations, and institutions that are going to choose the XRP ledger for issuing real-world assets. That includes precious metals, oil, gas, etc. That process is already underway. A huge shout out to Quantum Financial Services, I think. QFS team there with Patrick Riley, Ascension Index, everything that they're doing. They're already tokenizing gold and silver on the XRP ledger. There's others that are working on it as well. You're going to see oil and gas, etc. Every single commodity. You're going to have derivatives for all of these commodities and real-world assets on the XRP ledger, using the liquidity of the XRP ledger to become more efficient and more liquid. Major banks start using XRP. That has started. So yesterday it was announced a bank, I forget, what was it, Bava Bank or something? I forget what the name of the bank was in Brazil there. The largest FX provider, not just any bank, not just the small credit union, the largest FX provider in Brazil going live with the stablecoin on the XRP ledger. Brazilian real stablecoin on the XRP ledger. That is a major bank coming to the XRP ledger. We are now waiting for major US banks to come to the XRP ledger, and that's coming as well too. CBDC deployment worldwide using Ripple's network. We're seeing stablecoins right now, and simultaneously, Ripple is working with other governments, other central banks to roll out CBDCs as well. Many of the central banks want to be rolling on the private ledger with interoperability for the mainnet ledger. But remember, the XRP is always XRP. So XRP is going to be the same price on the public ledger and the private ledger. XRP is always, can only exist on the XRP ledger. The XRP on any other private ledger, any other network, any other blockchain is an IOU. It is a derivative of the real XRP that only exists on the XRP ledger. So just remember that. So although they're deploying CBDCs on private ledgers, we expect that to have interoperability with the mainnet XRP ledger, so they can tap in when they need to while keeping privacy on their payment flows. Now, stablecoins are also being deployed. This is happening now. And the model now that we've seen here with this partner in Brazil is, I was wondering, is Ripple going to be launching these stablecoins, or are they going to allow their partners like SBI? I think that SBI is a great partner to launch the Japanese yen on the XRP ledger. This bank in Brazil that's launching the Brazilian real on the XRP ledger. Love to see it. And these are stablecoins. Some countries want CBDCs, others want stablecoins. Obviously, we prefer stablecoins, and there's a huge resistance against CBDCs in America. We're not going to have CBDCs in America. It's not going to happen. Now we wait for big partnerships with Amazon, Google, Apple, etc., and much more. And so every single ETF has been acknowledged, and the timeline on this case to me looks like conclusion here in the next 60 days, because we're looking at the April 16th date, I think, was selected to buy Ripple time to negotiate and wrap this thing up. And basically, this is the final act of the play that we've been watching. A lot of people have been saying that this is a staged lawsuit, and I'm of the opinion as well. Jay Clayton filed this thing before handing it off to Gary Gensler, and a lot of us think that it's a staged lawsuit. It's coming to a conclusion, in my opinion, by April 16th. I don't think that Ripple will end up having to file that appeal. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say, though, in the comments, so let me know about that. But the ETFs are now going live in Brazil, and then every single spot ETF has been acknowledged. The Grayscale ETF now on the official register. So I'm expecting the other ETFs to go live on the register here soon, and I don't think that they're going to be waiting until October to launch the ETFs. I'm going to be putting together a separate update where I hone in, and it's going to be focused on this timeline, because I think that you have the potential here to see the case conclude and the ETFs go live in the same time frame, in April. And that could actually mark the top of a real euphoric run for XRP, and then you end up getting a buy the rumor, sell the news event where, say, XRP pumps up to, $10 or so over the next 60 days, and then the case concluding and then the ETF going live one of those days or right around that time is when XRP actually tops out after having just this massive euphoric run to new all-time highs, price discovery, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9 or $10 before we top out. And just like with Bitcoin, it was a buy the rumor, sell the news. I'm expecting that something similar could happen for XRP. Now, this is something I'm preparing for right now. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say in the comments down below as we open this session up for Q&A. If you guys haven't already, please make sure you have liked this video, shared it out far and wide. I want to get into Q&A right now. Real quick word from Caleb and Brown. Keeping your crypto safe. They say they got 1-to-1 asset holdings with full reserves, direct on-chain custody, no unauthorized trading, lending, or collateral use, and secure institutional custody. We also encourage self-custody for full control. Your keys, your choice, Caleb and Brown. And the reason why I wanted to mention that is just, obviously I think that Caleb and Brown is a great resource available at zachrector.com and linked up down below. But I want you guys to compare their custody solutions with other exchanges and other platforms that you're using. That's why I wanted to share that with you guys here tonight, because I think that they're setting the standard right there for institutional grade custody. You don't have to have $1 million in digital assets to be provided that institutional grade custody. And for many of you guys that are new to crypto and you don't understand, wallets and DeFi and all this is getting to be a little bit too much, I highly recommend you guys consider a relationship with Caleb and Brown, because you could do everything from the phone, literally, if you wanted to. Basically, everything could be done from the phone. This is not an exchange. This is a brokerage service. And so I just wanted to show you guys the standard that they're setting for institutional grade custody, not really being provided by any other exchanges to people that have less than $1 million in net worth in crypto. But then also, just so we're made aware here of the unauthorized trading, lending, or collateral use that your assets could be exposed to while you do have your crypto on these exchanges. We got to use these exchanges as business partners to be able to make our trades, but we also want to remove as much counterparty risk as possible during these times when we know we're going into a global margin call that it could be like unlike anything that we've ever seen before. So please stay safe out there. I'm also going to bring up the XRP price chart, but I want to check our super chats and I want to go into Q&A as well. So I'm going to get caught up on super chats. We got some big ones, and we got a lot that came in here. Thank you guys for your support so much. Charles Brewer, thank you for the 10 spot. XRP, they can lie, cheat, and steal, but they can never give up your bag. So true. So true. I mean, that's the thing. We're in full control. We're going to be our own banks. DeFi is going to explode on the XRP ledger. There's nothing that can stop that. Young Quavo, 2 spot. Appreciate you, brother. Good to see you. Flippy the Switch. We're flipping switches, aren't we, huh? Good to see you, my friend. Big 20 spot. Zach, you're the man. Thanks for fighting the good fight. Flip the effing switch. Well done. I thought that you would appreciate. I included the flippy guy there in the thumbnail. I like to include the bear. I like to include the bear a lot. But we were talking about flipping switches tonight, so I had to include Flippy in there, the little character there. Guy. Flippy in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Chosen One Collecting, thank you for the 2 spot. How can XRP be used to pay off US debt? Well, assuming that we are going to, you give some to the treasury and then you just see price appreciation on the asset. Also, the ability to use XRP and the AMM as a liquidity pool provider would be a way to generate yield as well. X-Men on TikTok, thank you for the gifts too. Thank you. That's the main way that it could be done. And I think that Ripple's in the best position to give the treasury 5 billion, 10 billion XRP. I would love to see them do it. I've been talking about that for a long time, that they should be giving a considerable amount of the XRP to our treasury, assuming that our treasury, was not going to be the corrupt communist regime, but the America First regime that's actually looking to monetize our assets, pay back down some of our debt, at least the debt that's fair that we should pay back. But like I said, I think a lot of it's just going to be defaulted on and not going to be paid back. But yeah, Ripple's in a great spot to give some XRP to the treasury. Crypto Clay, Zach, are you a Ferndale kid? No, I am not from Ferndale. And I know that some of you guys see where I make my content at, and you guys see where I'm at. And obviously, I mention where I'm at from time to time. It's not hard to tell that I'm in the Pacific Northwest. Gray and cloudy most days while I'm trying to, get out there and get some sunshine. I am not from Ferndale. No. But I am nearby. Prod LB, thank you for the 10 spot. Big one. That new Grok logo looks an awful lot like the Stellar logo. God bless. It does. And this is why I still hedge with some Stellar and some XLN. Jed McCaleb, I call him the sneaky little Stellar. They'll sneak up on you. Ferndale in the house. That's crazy. Hey, Brian, thank you for the galaxy there on TikTok. Brian, God bless you, my friend. Thank you. Shane, thank you for the 589. Crypto Clay, KG from Crypto. Shane, thank you. X-Pilot, thank you for the 1090. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, so XRP price chart and rapid fire Q&A. Skagit County, you guys are getting too local. I don't like to talk about where I'm at. I'm about to go into hiding, actually. You guys won't be able to find me. Okay? Don't try to find me. You won't be able to. It's time for me to go into hiding, okay? Nick Schwartz, appreciate the 20 spot. Thank you for all you do for us. I try to keep up with the research myself, but having people like yourself share their views really helps clear things up for us average Joes. Keep up the good work. XRP to the moon. Nick, I really appreciate that, my friend. That's what I started doing this back, in 2021 was all about I was just seeing lies about XRP. And I just thought, you know what? It's my time to step up here. And I started making content on TikTok first. And, we just started rocking and rolling right away, and the rest is history, basically. But yeah, here we are 4 years later, and I'm still fighting XRP FUD. And that's what I was saying earlier in the show. It's just crazy to me. We're trying to work with all these communities, build out side chains, build out bridges, collaborate, right? I mean, the XRP, obviously we're ready for all the money, but there is going to be some activity happening on some of these other chains, and that's just fine, right? Let's let a rising tide lift all boats. Zach, we are still waiting for you to get back up on Zebek. Yeah, I know. Yep, I know. There's a lot of cryptos, right? Chosen One Collective, thank you. Team Deathmatch, Domination, or Search. I prefer Domination back in my Call of Duty days. Domination. I'm a Domination kind of guy. Why was XRP so slow today? Okay, so speaking of XRP and price action, I'm going to show you the chart that I'm looking at and the pattern that I just found. And it's only a pattern that has played out here about one time. But it matches up with other fractals that we've seen. And I will give a shout out to BC Backer. I watched his update today. He dropped a good video. It's about 30 minutes long, but it's very detailed, very thorough, and well presented, breaking down the technical analysis that takes XRP to about an $8 price target. And that's going to be happening. He's in the same time frame as me, I think, over the next couple months. So BC Backer put together a great video on that, and he's much further down the TA road than I am. I just do doofus more on TA, but this is just what I'm looking at right now. So here's my chart, and what I did is I found that XRP, after we made our first run up to 290, and then we consolidated here for 27 days before XRP bottomed out, and then we made our next run up to $3.40. Now, during that time, XRP triple tapped the $2 level, having big drawdowns, right? And then we run up here. After 27 days, we bottom out, and then we start to run up. And we did have a little bit of a consolidation here, kind of a false breakout, came back, and then we blasted off again here up to $3.40. Well, what I'm looking at right now is 27 days stretched out from here, takes us to where we kind of just started to break out here once again. And so I match up this fractal, which this fractal is just this fractal right here. After the 27 days, that's that fractal right there that took us up to 340. And so all I've done here is I've just taken this over here, and that fractal started the day after the 27 days played out. And you see, if we follow that, we're looking to move up here to XRP by the 1st of March, 2nd of March, breaking up to about 380. So it looks to me like that move comes by the first part of March, that move up to nearly $4. But BC Backer was showing the market cap chart. He was showing the dominance chart, and I had confluence with the XRP price chart, taking us up to about an $8 price target. The market cap will do a full extension, and it's up to about a 400 billion market cap, I think is that level of $8. And then if you look at the XRP dominance chart, it goes up to about 13%. And so well done TA presentation in that video. And it kind of matches up with, just kind of what I'm looking at with my Doofus More on TA. And I just match up my Doofus More on TA with the general timeline, market sentiment, other current events, other events in the cryptocurrency space. Obviously, this SEC versus Ripple case, I think, is going to conclude in the next 2 months by April 16th. By April 16th, this case is done. And then maybe right around that time or shortly thereafter, you see the ETFs go live for XRP. And that's what I think will be the top part of our run. It's going to be real euphoric. It's going to be real crazy. And then we will end up coming back down and consolidating. But then I think that we enter that institutional era of liquidity and we never look back. And that's the run that starts to take us to 20 to $30 towards the end of this year into next year. And that's where I'm at with my chart. Let me check here again. Young Quavo, thank you for the 5 spot. If the gold is not in Fort Knox, is that our black swan? Well, it very well could be. It very well could be. I mean, that could send gold shooting up to a new all-time high. I mean, gold already went to a new all-time high today. I tracked it at 2,972 on the gold continuous contract. That's the futures contract. 2,972 today. And then silver was up to $33.78. That sounds accurate, Zach. Shane says, Zach got me into charts. Well, and I joke about doing Doofus more on, but I actually do kind of understand the basics. And I really don't think that you need to get all too complicated with it. And the other thing too is that you can see, we can extend past 4.236 extensions on the fibs and all this. You can, look at moving averages, those kind of lag. You can look at all these different indicators. I just use a few different ones in my tool belt. I match that up with market sentiment. I match that up with events to come down the road, and I make my bet. And the beautiful part about it is we're long-term holders on XRP, right? So for many of you guys, it just TA, you just laugh. Oh, Zach's talking about the charts. Oh, Zach's doing Doofus more on TA. And I hope that I could provide some entertainment at least while I provide my Doofus more on TA. I think that the markets go crazy if there's no, but I'm kind of erring on the side that it's just tough. It's tough to say. It really is. Rosie Rio said that the gold is there. I like Rosie. We played the clip of Rosie earlier in the update tonight. Chosen one. Being new to gold, silver is bars the best option. If you want your best bang for your buck, obviously, if you buy bigger coins, bigger bars, you can get cheaper prices. But I like to have myself a diverse collection. So, I mean, this is just a little bit of what I'm playing with right now. My good friend Roberta in Canada, she actually brought me this Trump coin. This is a 1 ounce, troy ounce silver coin from the Scottsdale Mint. I'll show that to you guys real quick. It's just a beautiful, beautiful little mini bar, but it's just a 1 ouncer. I have these 1 ounce buffalo heads, and this is primarily all I've stacked myself. Got my buffalo heads right here. Roberta also gave me a maple leaf here, a King Charles. Very nice of her. And then I've also stacked these 10-ounce bars. These are from the Wall Street Mint. And these are 10 troy ounces right here, 10-ounce bars. And my bars are discolored and beat up, and my kids lose. I let my kids play with these. And so they go lose them in the couch, and then I find them a month later. It's like every month I find a few silver coins that I let them play with. And they say, Daddy, can I play with the money? And I say, you bet you can. And then I just hope that they don't throw it. My son's been throwing stuff in the garbage. I guess this is something that's pretty common with most kids. My daughter never did this, though. It's been funny to watch between my daughter and my son. My son does some things that my daughter never did. And he's had a little fix lately of throwing stuff in the trash. We had to buy a new baby monitor. Well, no. Actually, I ended up finding it. I had to cut through my garbage, yeah. Yeah, I was out there digging in my garbage can, finding the baby monitor that he had thrown in there. And thankfully, I found it. But anyways, I stack 1 ounce, 10-ounce bars. I don't have any allocation to gold right now. And I'm looking to rotate into gold potentially when that silver to gold ratio corrects. Right now, the silver to gold ratio is way out of way out of whack. It's way out of whack. And I'm looking for it to correct, and that's when I'm going to roll into gold. Yeah. Oh, we had some trolls in here. Of course we did. Yeah, of course we did. Some people stack the 100 ounces. There's not much barterability with those, right? If you have 100 ounces of silver, it's not as barterable as 1 ounce or even dimes. Right, so that's something that I've been meaning to add to my bag for a while is the junk silver, getting some smaller denominations. I've been meaning to do that for a while. X-Men, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Canadian 5 spot. A lot of Canadian XRP family, and we love our 51st state up there. God bless you. It's a joke, okay? Okay. Some people don't like the jokes. Some people don't like the 51st state joke. It's okay. How'd the hockey game go? Did we whoop your butts again or what? Hey, let's leave it on the hockey court, huh? Or the skating rink. Let's leave it there. And let's be friends. You know what I'm saying? Let's build prosperity together. Did we spank them again or what? What's going on? Every time you go live, there's big news. Tuesday and Thursday seem to be some decent days for news. And there's so much happening right now. It's in OT right now. Oh boy. Have there been any fights? Have there been any fights? And who won the fights? Shout out to our Canadian brothers and sisters up there. 1970 legend, good to see you. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. 1970. Brother, thank you for the 10 spot. I saw you were with Vivek today. Doing the big boy deals, huh? I see you. I see you, 1970 legend. Doing the big boy deals. That's a big one. Oil and natural gas. I was looking into your company a little bit there. Now I was looking into that. I was looking into you. Looking mighty fine there. Zach, my crypto supreme leader. How does XRP hit stupid level prices this year? Everything implodes and burns down to the ground, and then XRP is the chosen solution to rise from the ashes. There's a scenario that plays out where that's the case. XRP gets added as treated as a strategic reserve. XRP gets given to the treasury. XRP gets given to the sovereign wealth fund. Ripple equity gets given to the sovereign wealth fund. There's a scenario out there where XRP could go to just a ridiculous price this year. Yeah, absolutely. Do you think that ETH has to hit highs for alt season to kick off for real? No. Not for utilities like XRP, XDC, XLM, and others, because we've already shown that we can run without ETH. So do like SHIB and Pepe and Dogecoin. Well, Dogecoin's not even on Ethereum, but you know, some of these other meme coins, do some of these other coins and Ethereum layer 2s, do they need ETH to go up? Yes. And that might be a problem. That might be a problem because ETH is lagging. Now, I know some people are still calling for ETH to run towards 10K. I don't think it makes it very close to 10K. I really don't. It's really struggling. ISO did get pushed back, but don't focus on those dates. Don't worry about ISO. It's all going live. It's all happening right now. You know, whether the final date gets pushed back now till July, then they'll push it back till November. They've kept on pushing it back, but at the same time, they're allowing institutions that are ready to roll over to ISO. I've spoken with developers that work for some of the biggest banks in Canada that are helping these banks roll over to ISO, and this was 2 years ago. This is years ago. 2 years ago, in 2022. Or, that was 2023. But Swift ISO migration and opt-in started in August of 2022. So this has all been going on. No, Zach is not on Instagram. No, yeah, guys, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I have personal accounts, but I don't use them anymore. I had created accounts on Facebook and Instagram, but there's too much scammers, and I didn't really like the platform. I don't use Facebook or Instagram personally anymore. So I don't know. I don't think I've deleted. I was trying to figure out how to delete my pages, but yeah, don't try to find me on Facebook and Instagram. I don't exist there. Okay, only scammers. A lot of scammers and impersonators over there. So I'm not on Facebook and Instagram right now. TikTok, YouTube, and X. That's it. Zach, what's your thoughts on Kraken? Decent fees. I know they take care of folks decently well. They seem to be doing all right. Zach will never ask how your investing is going. Yes, that's right. That's true. Now, if we sit down and we do a one-on-one session, I'll ask you how life is going. We could talk then. But yeah, no, I don't send DMs, guys. I don't DM at all. Okay? 1970, I appreciate you, my friend. I appreciate you. Another super chat there. Thank you. Thank you. I'm just a squirrel trying to find a nut. Well, well done, brother. Well done. I know Vivek's into crypto. I know Vivek's in there. Now, let me look this up here. What's this? Wow. Wow. I didn't even know what this Four Nation face-off deal was until last week or this week. I'm so out of the loop on sports. Chosen One Collecting, thoughts on Robinhood? You know, they're an easy platform to get access, but I don't like the counterparty risks that you expose yourself to on Robinhood. They've already proven to themselves that they can't be trusted, and especially for crypto. Like if you were just going to do a little bit of stock investing, not much, just getting started in the game, they make it easy, but if you're moving serious money and if you're doing crypto, no. I actually heard from somebody last week that was having problems sending XRP from Robinhood to their cold storage wallet. So just stay safe out there. Robinhood, I don't trust them. I don't. They almost just scored. Waterbug, thank you for the 10 spot. Give a shout out to my dad, Wayne. He's 75 years old. We talk about your content every week. Just say, Wayne and Jody, keep stacking silver and XRP. Bless you and your family. Wayne and Jody, keep stacking silver and XRP. please continue to, show our support here. I appreciate you for being in the XRP family, for being tapped in with us. Thank you for being here. Absolute pleasure. Not only are we saving relationships, we got couples that tune into the show. We also got families here now that are getting connected. We're doing everything we can to help you guys out. Hopefully I can provide that entertainment and education simultaneously. Appreciate you. You guys up me. I'm gonna count on you guys to update me when the United States scores. Okay? You guys let me know when the US scores. How do I feel about Uphold? I have a special place in my heart for Uphold. And I say that because they allowed me to stack so much XRP while the SEC lawsuit was going on. Right now, I'm doing most of my trading on Caleb and Brown and Coinbase. And the reason is because on Coinbase, I pay for their Coinbase Advanced. It's $30 a month, but my fees are 75 basis points. So 0.75% is my fees on Coinbase. And Coinbase has a lot of liquidity right now for XRP. There's a lot of trading on Coinbase for XRP. So their order book is a little bit thicker than Uphold's. At least it seems like it was over the past month. But I keep XRP on Uphold. I have some on Coinbase, and I also have some on Caleb and Brown. And Caleb and Brown and Coinbase, for both of those, I don't have any withdrawal limits, and I don't have any withdrawal fee. So that's why. And then I have institutional grade custody at Caleb and Brown. And I don't trust Coinbase all the way either. So I don't trust anybody really. I'm trying to do my business transactions and take my money and run. And then when it comes to my long-term holdings for XRP, obviously they're way off of exchanges. And we don't plan on selling much of our XRP. Oh, let me refresh our chat. Thank you. Thank you. Yep, Coinbase took our airdrop, so I'll never forget that. It's like Uphold has a special place in my heart because they allowed me to stack XRP. Coinbase, I'll never forget that they screwed me out of my Songbird. So I don't know if Fred Rispoli is going to pursue that class action lawsuit. He had talked about it, and I know he had started it, but I think he backed off of it. But we still never did get our Sologenic. Yeah, Jerry, thank you. KG, thank you. Got Flare. Yeah, yep. I did get my Flare. And I continue to get Flare airdrops, by the way. I'm not staking my Flare, and I do plan on selling off most of my Flare during this run. But I will be looking at Flare down the road again. I'm watching it very closely. And I need to do an updated deep dive on Flare. Yeah. Did you go over Caleb and Brown in a weekly call and I may have missed it? Yeah, Shane, in one of our Discord weekly calls, I did talk about I sold XRP on each exchange to conduct test transactions to see how badly I was going to get hit on slippage, fees, withdrawal fees, etc. And I also wanted to test my limits. Now, I do need to circle back on Uphold because I still don't know what my withdrawal limits are on Uphold. Hopefully, there is no limit, but I got to check that. On Caleb and Brown and Coinbase, I don't have a limit. And like I said, my fees, although Caleb and Brown's fee was higher because they were so much better on slippage and they had no withdrawal fee, I actually would have ended up with more money in my bank account when I cashed out on Uphold. I got hit on slippage. XRP was at $3.06. And they executed my order at $2.98. Then I got hit on a 1.75% withdrawal fee as well, too. So I got hit on slippage, and then there was actually a fee on the trade, too. So there's slippage plus trading fee, and then a 1.75% withdrawal fee from Uphold. So at that time, I cashed out 1,000 XRP. And if I would have cashed out that 1,000 XRP, I would have ended up with like $25 more in my bank account when I ultimately ended up cashing out if I would have cashed it out on Caleb and Brown. And so although Caleb and Brown's fees can seem higher when you get hit on slippage and fees and then withdrawal fees, and then you have withdrawal limits, you see where you can get into trouble rather quickly. And that slippage and that little margin, I was only cashing out 1,000 XRP. And at the time it was $3,000. So after fees, withdrawal fees, slippage, I only ended up with like 2,920 in my bank account, versus if I would have done it on Caleb and Brown, I would have been at 2,950. So I would have had another $25, which is almost another, what is that? Almost 1%, which doesn't sound like much, but if you're cashing out $1 million, that makes a difference, right? So the reason why I did this was to do test transactions on each one, just to test the waters a little bit. And this was not my long-term holding XRP. This is XRP that I'd made trading meme coins. So I got lucky at the casino, and that's what I used to go through that. But yeah, to answer your question, Shane, a few weeks ago, I kind of went through that and broke it down in a little bit more in-depth detail. But yeah. We won. Was that Canada? Canada just won? There you go. Cheers to our 51st state. You guys did it. You guys did it. Why are you using Caleb and Brown? I want options. So the way that I have options is I have a few centralized exchanges, and Caleb and Brown being a brokerage service, personalized broker, not an exchange. But this gives me options. And then I also know how to use the decentralized exchange built into the XRP ledger. So I can cash out into RLUSD right across the XRP DEX if I want to as well too. So I have the ability to cash out on Uphold, Coinbase, basically cash out and trade on Coinbase, Uphold, Caleb and Brown. And then I also know how to use the DEX on the XRP ledger. I have the Zaman wallet. I have First Ledger wallets. I have multiple wallets. I've actually made a public wallet that I've linked up in the description of all these videos. So if you guys want to send me an XRP tip, you can do so. Or if you want to send me one of your little NFTs, you can do so. I've had quite a few NFTs sent to my wallet. And so I've made multiple wallets, and then I've tapped my wallets into the different interfaces. So XRP, X Magnetic, XP Market, and First Ledger. And then I have Zaman wallet, and First Ledger, I have a wallet there too. And First Ledger is working on a standalone wallet as well right now. They're going to up their wallet game a little bit here. So I can cash out centralized exchanges. I can cash out broker service, Caleb and Brown. And then I also have the decentralized exchange for trading as well too. And then I've started to play around with the AMM as well. So it's all about options. Adult beverage tonight. Yeah, I'm still lost though. And that's the thing, is that you can take the time to learn these things, but if you need like help right now, for folks that aren't technically savvy and are worried, but you have considerable bags to move, Caleb and Brown would be a perfect relationship for you to explore, right? I would encourage everybody to be your own bank. Store your own crypto, learn how to use the DEX, and do it all yourself, if you can. Some people can't, and they shouldn't even try to. And so if you have $100,000 to deploy, but you're not technically savvy, you could very easily get scammed, send the wrong transaction, mess up, and that's what we don't want to happen. So that's why, for me, I just want to provide community resources in different assets, in different sectors, and that provide different services and different products. That's what it comes down to. Caleb and Brown isn't for everybody. Uphold isn't for everybody. Coinbase is just another option, but I don't really trust them either. But we got to figure out, who can we work with? What can we do ourselves? And give ourselves as much options as possible. Miles G Investments, thank you for the 10 spot. I appreciate that. XRP is the next Bitcoin. And that's what these hats say. XRP, the better Bitcoin. So we're getting hats in right now, and we'll go live with these here soon. But these are the holographic ones. Really like how these ones turned out. These holographic patches do cost a little bit more, but they're really cool. That's the XRP family. And then these are a different style patch, and I just love how it turned out with the detail on these ones. That's crazy. They turned out so good. So we don't have these available yet, but they're on the way. But to your point, Miles, I mean, that's, I think, a simple slogan that we can run with, and it just gets the point across. Everything that Bitcoin do, the XRP ledger can do better, and it might even perform better as a store of, in fact, well, it is performing better as a store of value since Trump was elected. I can tell you that. Now, overall, depending where you measure from, XRP's still been a better performer in the past decade, depending where you measure from. But I think going forward, obviously, you get better price performance, better store of value, and then obviously Bitcoin can't do much. XRP Ledger is going to be able to do everything you want to do with DeFi and DLT technology as we get all these amendments and go live with the DeFi. Here's the bear. And you can like feel the detail on these, like the edges and the detail, it's all like sticking up. And the way that these patches blend into the hat, they look really clean. So those will be coming here soon. What am I drinking? Michelob Ultra has been my adult beverage of choice. Light beer. I only do light and cheap beer. Light and cheap. Do I do one-on-one calls? Yes. I've seen a couple of people asking that. Yes, I do. I will not give you any sort of financial advice. I will not tell you to buy or sell, what to buy, when to buy. I won't do any of that. But if you want my opinion, I will share my opinion. We can talk about your business. We can talk about any of these investment asset classes that you would like to. As far as I will share my opinion, but I will not give any sort of financial advice. Glad you are using the Yupong trucker cap. Okay, I'm glad that you mentioned this. I want to hear from you guys because I'm not a hat guy anymore. Or I mean, I was back when I played baseball back in high school and stuff. I used to wear my ball cap then, and once in a while I'd wear my hat. But I've been out of the hat game for a while, and I'm trying to keep, as long as I got this hair on top of my head, trying to not choke it off. But I do like a nice hat. Absolutely. Going for hunting, got to rock a nice hat. Going out in the snow, got me a nice beanie. Absolutely. But I'm out of the hat game. So I need to hear from you guys what kind of hat styles you want. My guy also sent me this one. This is the Richardson 112s. So do you guys like the Richardson 112 truckers? This is the Yupong snapbacks. I'm out of the game, but what do you guys like? Richardson 112 here. Fitted. Yeah, and that XRP family one up there. That one, I forget which one that one is. Yupong way better than Richardson. Hey Zach, I see I can purchase your exit plan. Is it tailorable to each individual person's bag? Like say somebody who owns 2000 XRP. So the reason why I've made my XRP exit strategy available for folks is so that everybody who wants to see my plan detailed out as far as what price targets I've set and what percentage of my portfolio I'm selling, it's available, and you can compare it to where you're at with your bag and your strategy. So I didn't lay out like a template on, hey, if you have this much invested in XRP, and this is your average price, this is when you should take profit. It's not set up like that. It's set up to present my strategy in just an effort of transparency, and it allows our community members to compare what, basically look at my analysis and what I think is coming, and then compare it with their portfolio and where they're at. That's what it's for. I'm taking it down after the end, at the end of this month. I'm taking it down though, because we're going into the period, and I don't want, it's not that I can control markets, but collectively what's happening right now is there's a collective consciousness for the XRP family, and we're all in a different spot in life, but we're all looking at and kind of watching the same price targets and the same timeline. And the thing that I just want to make sure is that, we can find the liquidity that we're looking for at the targets that we've set. That's what it comes down to. Some people like the Richardson. I think that's what I'm going to end up doing, is we're going to have the Richardsons, and then we're going to have the Yupung. Yeah, we're going to have the Richardson and the Yupung, but I was looking at some other ones as well too, and beanies are on the way. The other one too we're looking at is some beach hats, some sun hats too. There's some things we're cooking up some ideas for down the road here. Make XRP great again. XRP has just been given the U.S. first convertible virtual currency status yesterday by the DOJ. This gives XRP regulatory status. Is this true? I didn't see that. I did not see that. No. Get a trucker hat with a cloth strap. They're the only adjustable ones that fit my big old head. Ninja, maybe I'll have to get you a custom one, brother. So, yeah, Stu mentioned, yeah. XRP was declared a currency in 2015. I don't know if that's what you're referring to. That original declaration was made back in the settlement with the Department of Justice and FINRA. That was in 2015. And they declared that XRP was a virtual currency. So that goes all the way back to 2015. The other thing that's being acknowledged, in the ETFs is that these are all commodity-based ETFs. So in the ETF filings that are being submitted and approved or acknowledged, we'll see if they're approved by the SEC, is and that's kind of interesting. How can they approve the ETFs if that case doesn't get dropped? And that's why I think you're going to see that case get dropped, and then the ETFs go live shortly thereafter. Or simultaneously. I mean, it's going to be happening right about the same time. Yeah. How is the case not over? Corruption? Yeah. And we're right at the end. So I think that April 16th we'll be done by then. We'll be done by April 16th. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Fan of Bagman? Randy, that's a good question. I've never watched Bagman. Well, I've seen some of his clips, and I think he doesn't even do the music too. So I've seen him out there. I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it. The more the merrier. Everybody builds their own communities. Everybody who's putting out good stuff. There's a lot of content creators in the XRP community that put out a lot of crap. Yeah, I can't stop it. And I got to say this too. This is hilarious to me. Every single time I look at TikTok, every single time I scroll on TikTok, there are multiple XRP lives happening. Every single time. middle of the day, late night, middle of the night, doesn't matter what time it is. Basically, in the last like couple months, every single time I go to see what's happening, multiple. The other day I went through and I was just rapidly scrolling to see how many XRP lives I could count. And I was just flipping through and I counted 6 lives. They were, XRP in the title, XRP in the headline, XRP in the green screen. So I gave up on trying to, fact check I've never tried to be that guy that just goes around fact checking every other content creator or say, oh, I was the first to say this. I know what I've brought to the community. I know what I've brought that's unique. And that's just kind of the role that I love, right? I just kind of stick in my lane. I do my deal. I talk about current events and stuff that other people don't talk about as much. I'll talk about the broader financial markets. I get a little bit excited. Some folks say I get too emotional. I'm a real person. That's the thing. And I've said, I'm in the business of providing analysis here now. And so I'm not going to stop making predictions. I'm not going to stop looking to provide the best analysis that, gives us the insight to make educated investments. That's what this is about. Everybody likes their own, flavor of content, delivery, etc. But it cracks me up because every time I've been looking on TikTok, man, these guys are pumping the hell out of this thing. Guys, gals, everybody. 250 this weekend, right? So we went briefly above 272. That was the level of resistance that we were up against. And now we're back down to 265, I believe. Let me go back to my XRP price chart right now. $265 right now. Okay. So, below this, obviously we have support at 250. When I listened to BC Backer's video earlier this morning, he was saying that the range is from, I think, 220 to, it looks to me like 280, 283. And so I wouldn't expect, he even said in his video that he didn't think it's going to go below 220. 220 is the bottom of this consolidation range. But I'll show you guys what I did here. I found this pattern here. So after XRP topped out here at $2.90, it ranged for 27 days, and then it bottomed out, and then it started to climb up to 340. Now, we've done the same thing. For 27 days, we ranged. We had a huge wipeout liquidation event to $1.70. This was the biggest liquidation event in the history of cryptocurrency. And thank God it happened while XRP was already up here at $3, because it only took us down to $1.70. If we would have been at $2, if we would have been at $1, if we would have been at 50 cents, we would have been going down to some nice low prices. I know some of you guys, a lot of you guys are probably hoping that we would go back down to 50 cents or 10 cents so that you could scoop some more. But the thing is, the XRP's already built such good support up here at these levels. And so what I did is I just said, hey, well, this is an interesting little pattern. If we follow this fractal again, I just slide this right over here. And once again, I measured from the day after that time frame played out. And, is that solid TA? Is that good TA? I call it doofus moron TA, and I just let you guys decide. But to me, it looks like this thing's ready to break up to the upside. And that level that it goes to, if we just follow that same fractal, is $3.50 to $4. We already know that there's a big sell wall at $3.50. And as we approach $4, it's a big psychological number. It's the official all-time high. More people will look to sell XRP at that level. So we're going to meet some resistance there. But I think we just remain steadfast in our move towards $7 to $8. We might stretch up a little bit higher, but I'm in the camp that we don't break $10 in the next 60 days. It's a run up to about $7 to $8 before we, really what I'm focusing on is the liquidity crisis, the back end of the banking system. never got fixed. They've kept on throwing a bigger Band-Aid on it, but they never fixed it. So that's what I think breaks after we get this current run up here over the next 60 days. Okay. We were above $3 not too long ago. What happened? Like I said, the largest liquidation event in the history of crypto. That was bigger than FTX. That was bigger than Luna. That was bigger than March 2020. That liquidation event that we had was bigger than the liquidation event in March 2020 when we all thought that the world was going to end. That's how bad it was. And so that's what it took. That's what it took to break XRP below $3. It went below $2 for 10 minutes, and then it just quickly got bought back up, and now here we are at 265 right now. To me, it looks like we're breaking out by the beginning of March. By the beginning of March, we'll have made that push above 350 to $4. That's my target in the next 10 days, 12 days, the next couple weeks. And then by April 16th, I think that the case is over. And your ETFs will probably be going live shortly thereafter. Well, Chosen One Collecting, I appreciate the 2 spot. I kind of just gave the dates, right? April 16th is the day that Ripple requested to file their appeal response. And I think that they did so that they could negotiate with the SEC. I think that the case will be voluntarily dismissed. SEC, we have a new SEC that we're negotiating with. And they're going to say this was BS. You guys don't need to pay $125 million. It's the equivalent of a speeding ticket in the securities world. And there wasn't clarity. And Ripple tried to get clarity. Okay. All right, guys. I appreciate everybody for stopping by here tonight. I am going to wrap up this session at this point. We're going to be back tomorrow with the interview with Andy Schectman. That's going to be airing first thing tomorrow morning. So make sure you guys tune in back for that one. You're not going to want to miss that conversation because we step out of the crypto world, right? And it was really a pleasure. That's why I like going to the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference. It's not just crypto, pump, 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 big green candle. It's actually, the real world. And that's what we talk about with Andy too. So we talked about the economy, the fake economic data that we got right now, how bad of an economy was handed off to this administration. And then we'll also look at the geopolitics, the trade war, what we're starting to see with the repatriation of gold back to the United States. And basically every country is saying, hey, we need our gold in our jurisdiction, in our country, in our safes. We don't trust you. And basically we've gotten to a point now where nobody trusts each other. So we talked about that with Andy, and then we concluded by talking about the new financial system, how all of these commodities get tokenized, how the United States has an opportunity here. Judy Shelton talking about how Trump's plan is to issue 50-year bonds next year. And it's going to be our 250-year anniversary of America. And I guess the plan is to issue 50-year gold-backed and gold-redeemable bonds to kind of bring us back to gold in a digital way. These are going to be, it sounds like digital bonds that can be convertible and redeemable in physical gold. 50-year bonds. And so we talked about all of that with Andy Schectman. It's about an hour-long conversation. We cover everything. Like I said, you're not going to want to miss that one. And then I'll be back tomorrow with some more updates too. We'll see how the stock market finishes out the week, and we'll see what news hits us tomorrow. Every single day, we're exposing a lot. We're having a lot of fun, and it looks like these markets are going to start to have some fun too. So all of our community resources are available at zachrector.com. I greatly appreciate your support. It means the world to me when you smack it, when you tap it, when you share it out far and wide. You guys have yourself a fantastic evening, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. God bless you all. Thank you so much.